it's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee. Happy Thursday, one of our favorite days because it's right before the weekend. And Rip Michaels is here.
Excited.
Making a mess.
Giving it all my heart. That's just my heart. You know what I'm saying?
Don't blame it on that. But listen, we have so much to talk about with you today, but you also have your April Fool's comedy show that's going to be at the Barclays tomorrow.
Yes, it's going to be crazy.
Right after Nicki Minaj tonight.
Yes, right after Nicki Minaj. I got Jeezy, Glorilla on it, over 14 different comedians, Tracy Morgan, Bruce.
Man, and we're going to talk about Glorilla today, too, because you saw they had her dad send her a message. She got very emotional, but we'll discuss that in Yeetie. I love Glorilla, though.
That's my girl. That's been my girl since day one. Like, I love Glorilla. Love her energy. Like, I had her last year when we did 2 years ago when we did the Madison Square Garden, so I had to bring her back for that. Her energy is crazy. All
right, well, Rip Michaels is going to be guest hosting today, and he is honestly, got a story to tell today, so we'll get into that. But in the meantime, we got to shine a light. 800-292-5150, spread some love and positivity. And since we're talking about Brooklyn and the Barclays, we have Brooklyn's own Erick, the architect, joining us today, too. His album, I've Never Been Here Before, is out. It's Way Up.
I'ma shine.
Turn your lights on, y'all.
Turn your lights on.
Spreading love to those who are doing greatness.
Shine a light on them. Shine a light on them.
It's time to shine a light on them.
All right, it's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and it's time to shine a light. And today I want to shine a light on my co-host, Rip Michaels, who's here with us. You went through a lot, and we first saw a picture of you in the hospital. And because you're a comedian, sometimes people are not sure, is this real or what's happening? But it is a blessing to have you here with us today. And so I know you have the April Fool's comedy show happening at the Barclays tomorrow.
Yes.
And so I wanted to make sure that you don't just come up here to promote it, but that you also are able to guest host today, because I'm happy to have you here.
Yo, that is monumental. The love and support after me having a heart attack and being in the hospital for 3 months. And to let you know, I'm doing a lot better. I am still on the heart transplant list. And my heart is still at 15%, so I will right after this be leaving to go to the Mayo Clinic, and I'll be there for about 2 weeks right after this show. But that's why it was important, because when I was in the hospital bed, I was like, you know what? I'm going to live my life to the fullest if I ever get out of here. So God's giving me enough strength to do these shows. So that's why the Barclays Center is so important, because we celebrate life. And you shine light. I feel honored. I feel like I got to be alive while somebody read my obituary. That's
we're
honored.
Shut up to have you here. And you still have a sense of humor about it, which is crazy. But we'll talk about it more. Now, who do you guys want to shine a light on? 800-292-5150. Antonio, who do you want to shine a light on?
On the city of Detroit.
Ooh, okay, we love it. We love to hear it.
Oh yeah, the city is doing a lot of things. We got the draft coming up. Crime been down here. People is getting money, business opening. People just doing their thing.
You are absolutely right about that. What you do in Detroit?
I work in the hospital.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling. And yes, shine a light on the city of Detroit. I love it there. So I think I've been seeing so many different amazing things happening in the city. And I feel like they have more entrepreneurs than anybody.
Definitely.
All right. Thank you for calling.
All
right. Well, that was Shine a Light, 800-292-5150, in case you couldn't get through. Rip Michaels is here, guest hosting all day today. And when we come back, we have your Yeetie. Are you ready to talk about Diddy?
I am ready to talk about Diddy, because that was crazy what happened. He left his kids stranded, right? He run the city, now he run from the city. The kids was like, Dad, what do you do? You leave us?
When we come back, it's Way Up. Yeetie next.
Yo, she about to blow the lid up off this pot.
Let's get it.
Oh yeah. Angela's spilling that yee tea.
Come and get the tea.
All right, it's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee. Rip Michaels is my guest co-host.
I'm excited.
I know, I am too.
You just shine a light on me. I don't know what else to do. I feel like that's like an NAACP award.
Oh my gosh. Well, what we do want to talk about right now is Diddy. Now, according to reports, there are multiple Diddy documentaries in the works after these federal raids. 50 Cent posted, a bunch of YouTube Tubi movie type docs. The big one is Diddy Do It, coming soon. Green Light Gang.
I feel weird, because I feel like I didn't know take that meant something totally different. I'm like,
oh man, this is
now.
Awful. And you know what? I realized, because Diddy and 50 have had issues for so long, and then when Diddy was dating 50's ex, I wonder if that was part of him, kind of trying to take a shot at 50.
Of course it is.
And then,
50 is not 50 petty, so he gonna let that ride forever. Yeah. I think he's doing a
because they didn't get along before that, so that didn't help.
I think he's doing a Mini Man remix with Diddy. Like, it's just Mini Man, and that's it. You just keep doing Mini Man over and over again. And I think it's weird. We used to run the city, and now he's just running from the city. How you leave your kids? That's what I don't understand. Like, he was in the airport chilling, and his kids was
But
being
when
handcuffed.
they do a raid, people don't know that it's going to
Diddy
happen.
knew it was coming. Diddy knew it was coming. He just didn't have time. He's like,
They said the Homeland Security didn't even know whose house they were going to be raiding because they kept it such a secret.
Diddy definitely knew.
You think so?
Of course Diddy knew he was gone.
All right, and I feel like he would got his kids out of there, but his ex, Cassie, is said to be cooperating with federal investigators. Insiders told TMZ yesterday that she is one of the witnesses that they've been questioning, and several other women have also reportedly been in contact with federal investigators working on the case. Now, I saw that people were talking about the NDA that she has, and is she allowed to do that? But when it comes to criminal investigations, the NDA doesn't matter if it's a criminal situation. So you can go ahead and break that. She's not talking to the press, but she is cooperating with federal investigators.
That is crazy. You know what it is? It makes me hear all the songs different. Now I know we ain't going nowhere. I know that's just like a captive thing now. It just feels weird because Diddy had so much energy and put so many people on, and who knew all this was coming? And I pray that he does not go to jail. I pray that, I don't want to see anybody go to jail. But if he do, him and R. Kelly gonna have some crazy music together.
But what if he, what if there are things, because there's a lot of information we don't know. So if there's people's lives that have really been affected and ruined, I mean, we got to think about those people too.
Yeah, I think it's all gonna come out.
Because sometimes when you know somebody who's so famous, people are like, I hope he's okay, free him or whatever. But you do have to look at the other side of things. If crimes were committed, should you be given special treatment because you're a celebrity? Now, what's interesting is Nick Cannon. That's your boy.
Say that. You got to say that different now. It's a different.
Okay, sorry.
Yes, that is my friend.
And he sat down for Council Culture with Ayanna Van Zant. And he had some things to say because when he was up here, we talked to him about Cassie versus Diddy, and this was way before all of this information came out. And he felt like he always had to defend, he felt like he had to defend Diddy because Diddy looked out for him. Here's what he had to say when he was up here. And mind you, this was before all of the allegations that we know about.
We all on the outside looking in, and like when you start to hear stuff, you don't know how to feel because like these people or you've seen it, and I'm like, damn, is that what was going on? And so we just like the audience, we sitting back, praying and hoping for the best. But then at the same time, when individuals, it's like a family member. When you hear something happen, like, damn, I don't agree with the behavior, but I care for the person. Think about all that Diddy has done for the culture.
All right. Well, he was on with Ayanna, and here's what he had to say when he was asked about these comments.
I find difficulty in when I'm asked about people that I know about. It was either Breakfast Club or Angela Yee or something, and they asked me about Puff, and I answered it as honestly as I knew how to answer it. I know these people. They're not just public figures to me. So I have to almost do this dance around when it comes up, because just as much as I know Diddy, I know Cassie. I'm saying I'm praying for Cassie, trying to find the high frequency. But then when this question goes a little bit further, like, so what about Puff? It's like, I don't know how to feel about that.
And you got to see how Ayanna answered that when you go and take a look at the full interview where she talks about if that's your brother, that doesn't mean that you have to defend them.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you. When I was in the hospital, Nick Cannon came to visit me, and he came to my house too. I asked him too, because Diddy had that Diddy camp. And I was like, Nick, did anything happen in the party? He was like, I ain't seen nothing, to be totally honest. He's like, I've been there, and I ain't seen anything go on. So he did say that to me personally.
All right, we'll talk about it, but when we come back, we have about last night, what we did last night. Rip Michaels is here. It's Way Up.
So, about last night. Here's how it went down.
It's Way Up. I'm Angela Yee. Rip Michaels is here. Last night.
This
is what we talk
couldn't
about.
really get an answer.
We actually switched it out.
I know, that's the thing. We was talking about Diddy. I tried to call.
That was what it was. We did switch it.
We did switch it. I thought that was hilarious. I thought you did that on purpose. That was the first thing I was thinking.
But Rip Michaels is here.
Yes.
And we're talking about what we did last night. So last night, honestly, I've been extra stressed out about a lot of things going on. I'm sitting here trying to get things done. I have this house I'm supposed to be moving into this month.
Congratulations.
And there's all kinds of issues. We didn't order, I guess somebody dropped the ball, didn't order the windows for the top floor, so I don't have windows up there. Then the windows that did come, there's pieces missing, so they couldn't put the windows up, and then the guy from the window place isn't responding about where those pieces are. And then he's saying he has to go through a whole it's just so many things going on that sometimes when it's like that, I have to just be like, this is out of my control. There's nothing I could do about it. I'm stressed out, but what can I do? You know, and you feel so helpless because a lot of times if it was on me, like everything would be done if I had to just go pick up the thing, you know, but I can't do anything about it. So sometimes it just makes you feel like there's nothing I could do. Like I feel like relying on other people is such a hard situation. But what did you do last night?
Last night, I was running around the comedy clubs promoting the show and just getting everybody ready for the April Fool's Comedy Jam. Really stressful because sometimes getting artists to post a show that they're on is difficult for some reason. I don't know what it is. So I'm arguing with people like, dude, you're on this show. Post the flyer. Put the flyer up. So I'm arguing with that. And then I open my club back up, Star. So I'm dealing with the same thing you do. Yeah, I open that back up. So I'm dealing with the liquor license and same thing. So when you were saying that to me, I was like, I'm going through the same thing at the same
congratulations. It is a process.
Yeah, it is definitely a process. And then getting geared up to go to the Mayo Center on Monday. That's just been like...
All right, now let's talk about that for a second because you do have a second shot at life right now. You know, you were in the hospital. You had a heart attack. You have congenital heart disease?
Yes. Which means I was born with it. That means that I inherited from my parents. Like, so pretty much my dad got bad heart, lupus, gout, diabetes, and he got all that. That's my mama's fault. I look at it like that. She just chose...
She knew that.
She chose a man with bad genitals. That's why it's congenital. And I know it just sounds funny.
What bad genitals.
Bad genitals. Like she chose penis over heart. So right now, and it's weird for me because right now I'm single. So it's like weird because I got a bad heart. But I'm good in the other ways. So
you
it's
have a good heart.
Yeah, I got a good heart. Yeah, so if I had sex with somebody right now, I couldn't put my heart into it. I could give you me, but I can't put my heart. Well, I owe my heart into it.
But you know what? You were in the hospital for how long?
I was in there for 2.5 months.
2.5 months. That's a long time. Was there a point when they thought, like, is he going to make it?
Okay, so it was a point where no one thought I was going to make it. So it was just I think that's the toughest time period of my life I've ever gone through was being in a hospital because you know you have a heart attack, you think you're young, you think it's like a clogged artery, and it turns out to be something non-compression infraction. It turns out to be something that you really need because I was literally just going to get tested and I'm thinking I'm fine, and then I'm getting a right heart cath. And in the middle of that, everybody stopped because they found out my heart is such at a weak point that they don't even want to proceed. And I'm sitting there and all the doctors are coming in and just all of a sudden I'm surrounded by like 10 doctors and they stop talking about prescriptions and start talking about scriptures. That's when you know it's bad. When your doctor's like, do you
scriptures?
Yeah, they start giving me scriptures instead of prescription. They was like, you need some Leviticus because this heart medicine ain't gonna help you.
Well,
so it was weird.
You do have a second chance now, and you've been, like you said, running around. You have the comedy show happening tomorrow at the Barclays. So we want to talk about second chances at life. 800-292-5150. If anybody listening has been through it and now they have a second shot, we want to see how you handled it and what you decided to do differently, because I want to ask you when we come back, Rip Michaels, what you're doing differently now after going through that. So we want to hear from you guys too. 800-292-5150. Yo!
More Way Up with Angela Yee on now.
You know who it is. You know who it is.
It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee with my guest host for the day, Rip Michaels.
I'm excited to be here. You know what I'm saying?
excited to have you.
Going all the way up today.
And we're talking about second chances at life. Now, everybody was shocked when they saw you were in the hospital, and you ended up being in the hospital for 2.5 months. You had a heart attack, found out you have congenital heart disease, and now you feel like you have a second chance at life.
I do. When I was sitting in the hospital and you sit on that bed and you go from regular hospital admission to CCU and be sitting in intensive care with doctors watching you 24 hours a day, it gives you a certain lease on life. And I know a lot of people say I should feel sorry, I should be sad, but I'm not. I'm actually celebrating life because God put me through this journey so I could come out on the other side and tell my testimony. That's why when I take my special at the Apollo, I let people know that this is how you prevent it. I gave half the proceeds to the American Heart Association, and this show that I'm doing at the Barclays Center tomorrow is all about celebrating life, because a second chance on life, it's never over. Don't ever count yourself out.
Yes, I love, and you've been running around working like crazy. Some people would have been like, you need to sit down, but you actually feel like I'm not wasting a minute.
I'm not wasting a minute. Every minute is precious. I run the city now, not like the other person that used to run the city.
But let's see what you guys think. If you want to talk about just maybe some second chances at life for you, if you had an experience like this, 800-292-5150. Brittany, how are you?
Hi, I'm okay.
It's me and Rip Michaels, and we're talking about second chances at life. What's your story?
Hi, first of all, I just want to say, Angela Yee, you're one of my inspirations. I love your work. I study you up and down because I want to be a radio host. So
thank you.
I definitely love your work. Yes.
I love your voice, Brittany. She got the, first of all. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hands up, hand down. Like she moving her hand while
I
she
know,
talks.
that's what I
She's
wanted
like, you
to
see
do.
this? First, I want to do radio.
How do you know I'm raising my hand? Because I am.
We love it. Okay, so tell us about your second chance at life.
Okay, so I came out of stillborn. It was hard for me, when I found out because I have been living with asthma. I've been living with all these different issues. I know it didn't come from me coming out as a stillborn, but then I had my third baby, and my body pretty much went into shock. And I found out that I had wolf Parkinson this whole time.
Oh, wow.
So that's where my asthma kind of developed from. And also, because they left all that after pregnancy stuff, I don't know what it's called, but because they left all of that in me, my body kind of shut down.
No. So that was their error.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, this is a whole new era. So now, it was kind of hard for me, but to come back because I have 3 kids now. I'm on my own. I'm a single mother and stuff like that. So one thing I want to say, because this is the whole reason I want to reach out to the world, like if you go through anything as serious as death, as serious as being close to the light, and you come back, God will give you another chance for you to really do your big one.
Oh, that is beautiful, Brittany.
That is beautiful.
Brittany, what is your page? We all want to follow you and follow your journey and support.
Oh, follow me. You gonna make me cry. Yummy_champagne at yummy_champagne, y'all.
Okay, all right. We're about to follow you right now, Brittany.
Yes, Angela. You gonna make me cry.
And congratulations on your journey, girl. Keep up. As long as you stay positive, and no matter what you go through, you come out the other side, it makes you stronger and better. God is not putting you through anything. He's making you better, so you can tell your testimony. And thanks for sharing your story with us, because that is amazing.
That's why we try to keep way up positive as possible. Thank you for calling. Although I can't help that tell us a secret.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
All right, you too, Brittany. Thank you. Hey, Rachel.
Hey, how are you?
We're good. It's me and Rip Michaels, and we're talking about second chances at life.
I've had far too many second chances.
Okay, so tell us, like, how you've been moving differently, what happened?
So I was at work one day. I'm an internal medicine nurse. And I'm at work, and suddenly I start feeling this pain on my left side. And the practice manager's walking towards me. She's like, "Are you okay?" And by the time I could say I didn't feel well, I was gone.
Wow.
And all I remember was when my eyes were closing was my daughter. Like, I could see my daughter in a sunflower seed field telling me, like, "I need you, don't go." And you're not allowed to call a regular ambulance. You have to call the company ambulance to take you to the hospital. They took 45 minutes.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
I got to the hospital. They admitted me. They said, "You're having a heart attack." I'm like, "What you mean I'm having a heart attack? What are you talking about? I'm only 35. Your age has nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing to do with it.
So what happened?
I woke up. I did the cardiac cath. He came back and he said, "Listen, you're lucky. There's no arteries. There's no damages in your arteries, and you're okay."
All right, good. Well, I'm glad. That is such a blessing. And I hope that now you have a second chance at life. Anything you're doing differently?
To be honest, not really. I walk.
He's like, as you were. I'm good. I'm back in the club. I'm back drinking again. We back outside.
Listen, I enjoy life. I travel. I'm Haitian. I eat a lot of rice.
Well, listen.
Unfortunately, I'll be honest. Listen, I gotta be honest with myself before I'm honest with you guys. You okay?
Well, thank you so much for calling. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Lay off the grill.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for calling up and sharing. And see, Rip Michaels, there were so many people, like the phone lines lit up. So I know during last word, we're going to have a lot of great stories.
I think so, because she was going through the heart attack thing. Mine happened to be non-compression and fraction, and my heart is still at 15%. So, and I'm getting a transplant. Hopefully, I'm like number 200 or something on the list. So hopefully soon I'll get that transplant. So when God gives you a second chance at life, take advantage of that, because I was going through it, and my wife even left me while I was in the hospital. So it was just a huge, probably the lowest point I've ever been in my life. Like, when they can't get in contact with your emergency contact doing an emergency, that just puts you in a whole different thing. So that's why I'm
something
so
to
blessed.
think about. All right.
So blessed.
Well, when we come back, we have your Yeetie. And let's talk about Fat Joe. He's talking about owing money to record labels and how they are robbing people the way business is conducted. It's Way Up Yeetie next.
They say it's truth in the rumors.
From industry shade to all the gossip.
Talk to me.
Angela's spilling that Yee tea.
Talk to 'em.
It's Way Up. I'm here with my guest host, Rip Michaels.
Excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you. And some Yeezy time. Now, Fat Joe was recently on Instagram Live, and he was talking about record labels being Ponzi schemes. You know, previously he's talked about how record labels are robbing people with the way business is conducted. Here's what he had to say.
I sold 2 million records, still ain't recouped. I have an album, Jose sold 2 million records. When I get my statement from the major label 20 years later, I still owe them money. I put out an album independently on Empire and get distribution. My album might sell 250, 300,000 records. I make millions of dollars off of it.
Isn't that crazy?
That is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, especially nowadays. I heard, I remember the interview with Snoop Dogg, and he said, "What does a billion streams mean?" He's like, "I got a billion streams and only got no money from it." He's like, "How am I not making $1 million off a billion streams?" I think it's just getting worse.
You know what I also think too, the way that artists have looked at it previously is you sign to a label, you're not going to get no money from selling your album. But, you know, you hope to get money from touring, from merch, from other things, from endorsements, from other situations, and the label is going to get that. And I think the way labels look at it is they have way more artists that won't make any money ever than artists that actually do break. And those artists that do break is what supports the whole entire.
Wow, that's just a whole thing to be in.
Yeah.
I mean, being on Wild 'N Out, Nick pays us in Mariah Carey CDs and Wild 'N Out hats. That's why I'm always wearing it. But
those Mariah Carey CDs are valuable.
every Christmas I get a new one.
Y'all get paid, but you guys are very loyal.
We do not get paid. We do not get paid. It's not a high paying show, but and again, because Nick keep having kids. Like, if you get paid, it turns into
the kids got to eat.
The kids got to eat, but we get more seasons. Every kid is a new season, so that's another good thing. So we keep living.
Great seasons,
we
yeah.
keep living.
Keep it coming, Nick.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, now Emmanuel Acho, he had criticized Angel Reese. This turned into a whole thing, right? Angel Reese was very emotional during the post-game press conference. She discussed their loss to the Iowa Hawkeyes, and here is what Angel Reese had to say initially.
I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized. I've been threatened. I've been so many things, and I've stood strong every single time. I'm still a human. Like, all this has happened since I won the national championship, and I said the other day, I haven't had peace since then.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's tough, right? To go through those things because we've seen it and witnessed it. But we love Angel Reese.
Yes, 1,000%. I didn't know she was going through all that. She sounded really emotional. You had the heavy, after the whooping cry that you had when you was a kid, when you trying to tell somebody. So I'm just like, wow, I didn't know it was that bad.
Well, here's what Emmanuel Acho had to say, you know, after that when he was speaking on it.
I'm about to give a gender-neutral, racially indifferent take. Angel Reese, you can't beat a big bad wolf, but then kind of cry like Courage the Cowardly Dog. Because if you want to act grown, which she has, if you want to get paid like you grown, which you are, if you want to talk to grown folks like you grown, which you did, then post-game when you take a L, you just got to take it on the chin.
All right.
Ooh.
Well, not a good take from
Not a
Emmanuel
good take.
Acho. And I saw a lot of people having things to say in reference to that because this wasn't about things that happened on the court or about losing that she was upset. It was about the things that she experienced. It has nothing to do with that. And that has to do with the racism, with the sexualization of her. And so I saw Taylor Ricks did a great response to Emmanuel Acho. She said, respectfully, colleague, the disappointing thing about this take is you actually can't have an informed opinion on this if you are choosing to be gender neutral and racially indifferent because that is impossible. Her existence as a black woman shapes both how she is seen by others and how she sees the world. And in this case, how she is seen by you. Your response here is actually full of opinions that indirectly and directly involve both race and gender. And it's a nice long take that she explains and breaks down everything respectfully. Now, Emmanuel Acho then tried to back up what he had to say. He went on Twitter, or I guess it's called X now.
Yes.
And he said, "Dear level-headed friends, please know I always speak out on racial and gender bias, one of the few on TV to speak on it. I have also consistently, publicly supported Angel through it. However, I don't blindly support anyone. I assess every situation individually and then speak." And then he went on to post different times where he had been supportive of Angel Reese. And he said, also, just because you disagree with one individual's actions one time does not mean you hate them. My job is to be an analyst, not a fan, which means your opinions must shift as actions shift. For those in doubt, here's proof.
He backpedaling. That just sounded like a whole bunch of backpedaling.
But also, just say I was wrong and I apologize.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
That's it. That's all you had to say. You was wrong because you was wrong.
just say I was wrong?
You don't need receipts. He's like, I did this and I marched in 1992 and my aunt, I got 2 gay cousins. He was trying to do
Everybody
everything.
checked him.
Yeah.
All right, well, that is your Yeetie. And when we come back, we have Under the Radar. These are stories that may not be in the headlines. They're flying under the radar. And Tesla might have some big competition. We'll talk about it. It's way up.
This in the news that relates to you. These stories are flying under the radar.
It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee. And my guy, Rip Michaels, is here.
Excited. I'm going to use a different word every time.
Excited. Thrilled.
Yes, thrilled.
Fantastical.
Fantastical? That's a new one. I never heard that one.
All right.
Astonished.
Well, let's do Under the Radar. The Powerball jackpot has grown to $1.23 billion after there's no winner again. That's a lot. The cash value, think about that, right? $1.23 billion. If you take cash, what do you think that comes out to?
At least a bill. What are you going to do with a bill?
$595 million. That's how much you lose. I know.
That's still a lot. I'll take that. What would you do with that right now? You wouldn't even be here.
Oh, man. Listen, I don't know. You know, I love real estate, so I would be all into that. I promised myself I'm not ever doing a full gut rehab, but I might buy land and build from the ground up.
You got your own city with that much money.
Get a whole city. I would help with some affordable housing for people. I think that would be a great thing to do. And then whoever got into it would be able to live there rent free for a year.
Oh, okay. So you already got it mapped out. You must have bought a ticket.
And then I would start a nonprofit for that so that I could use it as a tax. I mean, I got plans.
You got plans. Like I
should play.
Yeah, like you just should play. The way you had it sound like you already got your numbers picked in your head.
I just be thinking about what I would do. All right. Now let's also talk about this total solar eclipse that is happening. It's such a big deal. Every single day I see an article on it. It's happening on Monday, April 8th. Yes. And it'll cross North America, passing over Mexico, the United States, and Canada. That's when the moon passes between the sun and the earth, and it completely blocks the face of the sun, and the sky is going to go dark. And so, you know, they always say this. Now, some people don't believe it, but you cannot look directly at the sun or up at the sky because I know people will say you'll go blind. You're supposed to have this specialized eye protection. But viewing any part of the bright sun through a camera lens, binoculars, or a telescope without a special purpose solar filter over your eyes will instantly cause severe eye injury.
That I've heard that. I've actually heard that.
Do
I don't
we
believe
know
it.
that this happened to anyone?
I don't.
Somebody told me they didn't believe it.
You believe it?
Of course he does.
I don't know. I've looked directly into Michael Blackston's eyes and nothing happened. I don't think it gets darker than that. I really. Big shout out to my guy. I just love burning people.
But this is going to be the last total solar eclipse visible from the U.S. until 2044. So people are really flying in and traveling just to be able to make it here, to be able to witness this.
I don't know if I would travel in for something like that. I don't know. Would you? That isn't that's not a black person travel in type thing. I can't say, hey girl, it's eclipse weekend in Cancun.
Right.
We're getting it. I don't. But I think I'm impressed. Like a lot of people do take that serious because a lot of people know the moon.
Well, people are concerned about the weather because they're saying it might be cloudy and that might block you from even being able to see anything.
I would hope not. I would be mad if I flew all the way to America and just saw nothing but clouds. I would be.
You're like, well, back to
Ireland.
Yeah, wherever I came from. All right, and Tesla has some major competition right now. Bid by BYD. This is a car company. Now, it's not even in the United States. They're based out of China. And what they're saying is this actually really affected Tesla, and their price point is a lot lower too. And I think they have a factory, from what I'm reading, here in the United States. So maybe these these electric vehicles from BID. I don't know if you say it BID or if it's BYD, but maybe they'll be coming here soon. And you can get an electric car for like $10,000.
I think the electric car market is getting crazy. I think everybody is getting this new wave. Everybody's
well, you kind of have
to
if you want to save the environment.
Like I had an electric car when I was a kid. It was called a Power Wheels. It wasn't a Tesla.
Oh my gosh.
But it's just funny how the things you had as a kid is now taking over. Like I had the truck and everything. I was killing it. I used to go.
Well, they're going to be launching their first electric pickup trucks this year, and that is their latest challenge to Tesla, too, just to FYI. So that's going to be happening. All right, well, that is your Under the Radar. You know, we got the Way Up mix at the top of the hour, and then Brooklyn's own from Flatbush, which is where I'm from.
Flatbush?
Erick the Architect is going to be joining us. His album, I've Never Been Here Before, is out now, and he's on tour now. It's Way Up.
Just like to talk like they Angela Yee, like they Angela Yee.
Man, she's spilling it all. This is Yee T. Way Up.
It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee. Rip Michaels is here.
I'm excited.
We just ate.
I ate good.
We just had a bunch of
I had
food.
a funeral plate. You understand me?
Thank you to Carmine's for providing the food track for the day.
Oh my God. I'm sucking my teeth right now. I'm like,
Me too. I just did that too. All right, well, let's get into some of this Yee tea. Now, Glorilla is on the headlines, and she's also going to be doing your comedy show.
Tomorrow at the Barclays Center, that's right.
Yeah, tomorrow at the Barclays.
Big Glo.
Fools. So she was on Tamron Hall, and Tamron surprised her with a message from her dad.
I am very proud of my daughter. She has risen from humble beginning to going to the White House. I am extremely proud of Gloria, and may she have many more days of success.
I love my dad so much. He like one of the closest people to my heart. I love my dad.
That's so cute.
That is cute. I think it's cute because my daughter kind of look like me, but her and her dad got the same voice. I don't know if you play that again. They got the same throat. You like, I love my dad. I love my daughter. I love my dad. I love my daughter. I think it's the same voice.
I love Glorilla's voice too.
I know, right?
It's hard. Like, it's dope. All right, now she was also on Club Shay Shay. Mm-hmm. You need to go in there.
I know, right? I definitely need to go in there with his tight pants and his whole tight.
He might switch it up.
No, he never switches it up.
One thing
He's obsessed with that.
That they talked about was Kai Cenat, that she blocked him on Instagram while he was streaming on Twitch. And originally, here is what happened with Kai Cenat.
Okay, what's her at? Bro, Glow, please. Oh, there's no way you blocked me, bro. Oh my God, you did!
She blocked him, yeah. And, you know, she did not reveal the exact reason why he was blocked, but some people think it's from the negative reaction of her song Cha 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 with Fabio Foreign. Well, here's what Glorilla had to say about blocking him.
Kai Cenat said some things, you even blocked him. Did you unblock him?
Yeah, that was a whole joke. People don't understand that I play too much, and I don't understand that people don't know me and don't know that I play too much.
God, they don't know you, Glow.
You know, I will say she was on lip service and said some things that were a joke, maybe. But you have to go back. She said something about how she likes her, was it cereal? French fries. Oh, French fries, yeah. What she likes on her, what type of sauce she likes on her French fries.
Okay, so I guess it's a different type of sauce. It's like, it's halal food. It's like white sauce.
Yeah, it's definitely a white sauce.
Oh, okay. I got that Diddy sauce all on her.
Okay.
What? No, because Diddy like halal food. Y'all mind is somewhere else.
All right, but that is your Yee tea. And when we come back, you know, since Rick Michaels is here, let's talk to you. You know, you do have this April Fool's comedy show, but like we said, and we've been talking about it throughout the morning, you've been through a lot. We want to get into that. It's Way Up.
Vibing Way Up with Angela Yee.
Come right back.
More now.
Ooh. Sorry, my headphones aren't plugged in properly. All right. It's Way Up. I'm Angela Yee. Rick Michaels is here.
Excited. Exuberant.
And by the way, that was Nicki Minaj. She's at the Barclays tonight, and she had posted on Twitter to Sexy Red. You got your verse for FTCU, F the club up. I guess she's putting out a remix for a remix. Pound Town, and now we're doing this.
Oh, Nicki's smart. She always surrounds herself with who's about to be hot now. I like that. And Sexy Red is killing them right now.
All right. Well, let's talk about you.
Okay.
Because you're going to be at the Barclays actually tomorrow.
Yes, I am. With whole onslaught of people, too.
So who's going to be there?
D.L. Hughley, Bruce, Tracy Morgan, Glorilla, Young Jeezy, London Brown, Justina Valentine, Coco Brown, Brian Hooks. It's just, we're celebrating life. 13 comedians, 2 hours and 20 minutes of nonstop laughter and music. Nonstop.
That is, you got like all the heavy hitters.
Everybody heavy hitter. Everybody that reached out to me while I was in the hospital, I just put them on the show together and say, we're going to celebrate life, and just do it really big. Plus, I got a couple of surprise guests coming through too, so it's going to be even more crazier than that.
Okay, good. I'm glad I didn't say any names.
Yeah, it's definitely a couple more surprise guests coming through.
I didn't know it was a surprise. When you were telling me who was going to be there.
Oh, no, those are the people that's on the flyer. Everybody knows those people.
I mean off the flyer.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about it, and I almost said it. And
you was about to say it, right?
Yeah. Oops, sorry. But y'all better make sure if you didn't get your tickets, that you get them. And also, Rick Michaels, just the fact that you're in first of all, the fact that you can even joke about your near-death experience.
I think that it is jokeable. I think that, once God puts you through it and shines the light on you, you get a different perspective. Of course, you're able to laugh at it because you want to bring joy. And that's what it's all about. I'm here and able to bring joy again in life. And I got a new lease on life because right now I'm actually waiting for a heart. I'm actually on the heart transplant list, so I'm desperately looking for a heart. So right now, if anybody is an organ donor and you A positive, you get automatic meet and greet to come after the show. me and my doctor.
I gotta donate an organ to get a meet and greet.
I'm just like letting you know you're special. You get
can we meet Glorilla too, or just?
No, you get to meet the whole thing. But yeah, it's just weird space because right now I'm actually waiting for the heart. So it's like weird because every time like I see an ambulance, I pause a little bit and be like, wait a minute, is that my blessing? Is that for me?
Oh
is that
God.
a gift over there?
I really hope that this comes through. So you said you're second on the list?
No, I wish I was second. It's like 200 something down on the list, but I'm very, very hopeful because a lot of people do get heart transplants. And big shout out to the American Heart Association because when I did the Apollo show, I gave a lot of my proceeds back to them, and they will be doing other things with me in the future as well. And even this show, I'm giving portions of my proceeds back.
Now, what kind of experiences were you having while you were in the hospital? You know how people say they see things or they have like visions. Did any of that happen for you?
Yeah, actually, when I was in the hospital, a promoter reached out to me and he wanted me to do a show with Tupac and
oh my God.
Pop Smoke, and I was like, and people are dying to get those tickets. So
literally.
No, but when I was in the hospital, it made me get really closer to my daughter because my wife left me while I was in the hospital too. So
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Yes.
I don't. How does that even happen?
I guess when it says to death do us part, she's a go-getter. She don't like to procrastinate, so she was out.
That's terrible. How long were you guys married?
2 years. 2 years.
Yeah, that was pretty recent.
Yeah.
That's cold-blooded.
I guess when it said I was in ICU, she was like, "I'll see you later." So she was out of there.
I don't like that.
But it's okay. But you know what it does? It lets you know that certain people can't handle things, and certain people are supposed to be with you for certain parts of your life. And I realized that it was hard to cope with because honestly, when I was sitting there and I went from just regular hospital bed to CCU and had the nonstop doctors about me, I really thought it was over. And if it wasn't for all the fans and even every single person calling me and wishing me well wishes, I was like, you know what? I'm meant to get out of this bed. I have more of my life to live. It's not over. And I must have cried millions of nights in that bed.
You know what? We're going to talk about it more when we come back. All right. We want to discuss this more with you when we come back. But in the meantime, I just want to dedicate this little song to you. This is a song that we have to celebrate life.
Oh, it's not the 5 Heartbeats, is it?
I'm still alive.
All right, more with Rick Michaels when we come back as well.
That was hilarious.
I'm still alive.
You vibing way up with Angela Yee.
Come right back.
More now.
It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and Rick Michaels is here.
That's my new thing.
Well, normally this is where we do Ask Yee, but today I wanted to talk to you more just because you had a life-changing situation, like we've been talking about all morning. You ended up having a heart attack, being in the hospital for 2.5 months, during which time your wife of 2 years left you. But you did get closer to your daughter.
Yes.
On the positive side of things.
Came through. Like, that's what I will tell you. My daughter came through like a champ, and she was there every single day, like by my side, making sure everything was good. She grew up right in front of my eyes. And it was just great to see my daughter become a woman like that and just take charge and be sitting there going back and forth with the doctors, making sure I got all my meds, making sure everything was taken care of. Big shout out to my daughter. Love her to death, man.
Yeah, because sometimes you don't realize that, you know, life is a precious thing, and somebody that's so close to you could not be here anymore.
Yes.
And that's a real wake-up call.
It was a wake-up call, and what it does, the most important part of it, it lets you realize and reevaluate what's really important to your life, what really matters, the people that really matter in your life. And I noticed that God saved me for a purpose. So now I got a purpose. I got a more purposeful life than I've ever had. I eliminated a lot of friends that weren't there, took a lot of negativity out of my life, and I'm focusing on being a testimony and making sure that people don't make the mistakes that I do. Please go get checked, because you never know what's going on. You could be the healthiest person in the world. Because last time I was here, I was wearing tight jackets. I was in shape, and my heart was bad. So you never know what's internally going wrong.
That's right. You had definitely gone on that journey.
Yeah.
Back then too. And another thing I wanted to address with you. So 15%, right? You said your heart is operating at 15%
yes.
of what it should be, and so you're waiting to get a heart transplant.
Yes.
Which is going to be another major situation when that happens. What are some things as far as lifestyle changes that you've been told? Because this is something hereditary, so it's not. But what can you do when something like this is a congenital heart disease? What can a person do?
Well, by getting early detection, you can limit yourself, your diet, and what you're doing in your intake, so you won't have to be at 15%. Early detection is every single thing. Like, had I known that, I could have lived a different lifestyle before that. Like, now I'm restricted only 1.5 ounces of liquid per day. So that's just one Essentia bottle, one Poland Spring bottle of all liquids for the entire day. Because what happens is when your heart is such at a low percentage, it actually backs up into your lungs and it causes you to drown and not be able to breathe and causes complication and swelling. My whole body is swole up like ridiculous. So now I have to be really cautious of that, taking torsemite and different things, and making sure I don't have that much salt in my life so I can continue to be on that path. Like next month I'm going to the Mayo Clinic. I'm getting like a defibrillator, which is like a sidekick that they put on the side of your chest. So like, I'm gonna have one of those OT Mobile sidekicks underneath of my skin to making sure it shock me, so that when my heart does fail, somebody is right there to just shock it and keep it moving.
Okay, and so is that something that's permanent when you have to?
That'll be permanent until I get
until you get the heart transplant.
Until I get the heart. So now it's just gonna be hard for me to get in places because I'm gonna have the little T-Mobile sidekick.
Oh, like when you go through
to the metal detector, and be like, "What is that?" I'll be like, "It's a defibrillator. Please don't turn it off."
So you can't do pre-check because they're gonna have to search you extra
every single time.
All right. Well, listen, it is a blessing that you did find out what was wrong and that you're alive today, and that you're being able to that you can take care of this business so that you'll get this heart transplant and then be able to continue.
I'm gonna continue to do more shows. I'm like the Barclays Center, putting together more specials. I'm taking every single day like it's my last day, and I'm putting on as many people and doing as many projects as I can. I'm trying to just elevate anybody that needs to be elevated to the next level and continue and trying to grow. So,
yeah, and I think comedy is therapy for a lot of people, and I'm sure for you during this time, comedy has been therapeutic too.
It is, to be able to sit back and laugh at all the situations, because when I was going through it, I didn't think nothing was funny,
which is so rare for you
at all. Yeah, you couldn't tell me something was funny, but now that I'm looking at it, I was able to come at peace with myself and accept the testimony that I'm able to live through, and I know we'll make it further than this. I know it. So yes, everything is funny now. I don't take nothing serious.
Yes, I can attest to that from everything that's been happening behind the scenes.
You know what I'm saying? I got the heart to be here.
All right, well, listen, as you know, this is our guest host today, Rip Michaels, but he's going to be at the Barclays with his April Fool's comedy show that's happening tomorrow. In the meantime, from Brooklyn, we have Erick the Architect on the way. His album, I've Never Been Here Before, is out right now. It's way up.
Turn it up! You vibing way up with Angela Yee.
Come right back.
More now.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. You know I love doing Brooklyn things. And Erick the Architect is here with me today.
Oh, no.
That was your Mandavillian talk?
Hey, I'm Jamaican, so that's every day.
Congratulations. This is your debut album. Even though you've had projects out before, this is like your official debut double album. It's called I've Never Been Here Before. And you're in a better space, you feel like, than you've ever been?
Easily. Within music in itself, I think in order for you to be the best person you can be, I know it's cliche, but it's like we deal with stuff all the time, and I think that creatively we're always challenging ourselves to be innovative and unique. But I think internally, if you don't feel good, your music, it's not going to really reflect how you feel every day, and I wanted to make something that really stood on my growth as an individual, as a person, as a man, as a black man, you feel me? Just the hardship, losing my mom, I never really got to make music that really encapsulated all the things I was feeling. And I'm in a group, obviously Flatbush Zombie, so we sacrifice individual stories to tell a unified one.
Right.
And for me, this was the first time that I actually stand on myself, this is my story and what I've been dealing with. And also, I wouldn't say you're over anything that was hurting you, but I think that you find a different way to deal with it. And
okay, to know that you can move forward.
For sure.
And still be happy.
Still be happy, still have a smile,
Yeah, and still have a smile on you. And again, I just want to give you my condolences because I know that is not easy, having lost your mother. And then after that, you moved to L.A.
Yeah, but moving to L.A., I started working with James Blake, and I started to open up my palette as both an artist and a producer. I met Quincy Jones, that kind of stuff happened.
Legendary.
Come on, man. LA is such it's a place where everybody kind of has to pass through. And if you can catch them at the right moment, it could change your life.
What was that like for you, meeting Quincy Jones?
Man, I wore this crazy Raph Simmons jacket to his crib. And I think it was the night that Lil Nas X got his award for, I don't know how many records he had sold for his first single. And he's like, I like that jacket. And I was like, word, I was going to Quincy's house.
Take it here.
Yeah, I was like, do you want it? Because he got style, bro. Regardless his age, he knew. He didn't know it was Raph, but he knew it was nice. Yeah, but it was a pretty surreal experience. I mean, his whole house, you see the Thriller plaques, and you see, he had all these people at his house that were just really, he's the god of music. And
right. Erick the Architect from Brooklyn, from Flatbush, is here with us. His album, I've Never Been Here Before, is out right now, and he's on tour. You think you're going to stay in L.A.?
Yeah. I think L.A. has given me so much love. I sold out my LA show too, so it feels good to be able to live somewhere and still get love like that. Even though I'm not from LA, it's like all these people from LA really support me, and I love the little community that I built out there too.
How do you move when you're in LA? Because we always hear stories about like you got to make sure this person knows, or you can't go here.
That's a fact, though.
You can't wear this. So what was that process like for you going there and trying to figure out like what you could and couldn't do, where you shouldn't go, who you need to
keep your head on the swivel. You mind your business. I don't go places, like I said, them little parties. I don't really mess with them little parties, and people be telling me go to the random people crib. I'm good, bro.
Right.
I make music in my own house. I think it's really just like being too confident. Using social media is always a problem, because people already upset that you got a blue check or you got too much followers. People already like, I don't like that. Now you giving them reasons by provoking them, by showing where you are. Like, for somebody that's down or having down bad, they might really try to like get you. You know what I'm saying? So I've always been very private person. You know what I mean?
All right, Erick the Architect is here, and we have more with him when we come back. You know him from the Flatbush Zombies. He's a solo artist. His first ever debut solo album is available right now. We have more when we come back. It's Way Up.
Vibing Way Up with Angela Yee.
Come right back.
More now.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and Brooklyn's own, Flatbush's own. But now he lives in LA. Erick the Architect is here. Look at like Beyonce doing a country album that just came out also, and how huge that was, because sometimes you get put in a box where people are like, we're used to you having a particular sound.
Right.
And then having an album that's cohesive, but it doesn't have like a, how some people's albums sound like one long song.
Oh, yeah.
Because it all kind of like flows into each other, but this definitely takes you on a journey.
Yeah, that was totally intentional, you know, and I thought if I was going to do an album like this, I wanted to showcase all the things that I was listening to and also what naturally is in me. I personally feel once this album goes through and I finish my tour, you're going to see a lot of artists doing stuff like that. Like, well, I don't have to have allegiance to just hip hop. I could have dance music and folk music and R&B and hip hop on the same album.
Spoken word.
Yeah, like if that's what you like, then to me, you showcase all of your talent.
Are there any songs that you get emotional from this album when you perform?
I would say definitely Leukemia. Certain people have asked me, why did I name it that? And I'm like, actually one of my friends actually passed the end of last year from cancer. So
it's tough.
You watching somebody actually wither away, and through like something like chemotherapy, you actually give this person a second chance to be in your life and to watch them as long as they are here on the earth. And I related that to bad relationships in many ways, because no matter how much you are suffering, you walk away with those scars until you go through the transition of like, I got to work on myself to feel better. And that's the only thing I can relate a breakup to, was like something physically that I can't remove, and no matter how much I work on it, I'm still gonna be kind of
it's still withering away.
Yeah, so that's why I named it that, and that song really touches me. Every time I performed it on tour, I see people cry, and like,
was there somebody in particular you were thinking about when you wrote that?
Yeah, my ex, for sure. I wanted that to be something that people could listen to if they ever feel like that. And then obviously the second part is about a fly shorty, so it's not like we gonna stay in darkness, or we're gonna allow things that hurt us to stay there forever. Right.
But sometimes you gotta feel those emotions too. I know a lot of times we try to act like things don't bother us. It's okay to be upset over a breakup and to feel it and to try to make it work. Erick the Architect from Brooklyn, from Flatbush, is here with us. His album, I've Never Been Here Before, is out right now, and he's on tour. So Layla Hathaway is also featured on the album. How did you guys link up?
I was already a fan of her music. When you reach out and people respect it, it was nothing. She came to my house. We recorded in my living room.
That's dope.
Yeah,
I know you were like, let me clean up, Layla.
Yeah, that's a fact. It was a little more spick and span when she came there. I'm not gonna lie.
Everything's clean.
Jeez. When Layla Hathaway came to my house, she seen my gold plaque and she said, "Is this yours?"
Such a beautiful song.
I said, "Yeah, it's mine." She's like, "Yeah." I think she's 7 or 9 time Grammy nominated artist, and she said she's still looking for gold plaques for her dad and herself. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we still are tallying up these numbers to add up to 500,000. And she's like, you have one? That's amazing, bro. Like, don't ever forget that. And don't, just because you see it every day here, don't forget how many people really were impacted by what you're doing. And I took that still to this day. It doesn't matter what, that's why I said, starting with the top row, the ones at the bottom, all the trophies that we have, we can't forget just because it was the first one you got. It might have the most dust in your house. It might be on the bottom shelf, but it's still a win.
Yeah. All right. Well, Erick, thank you so much. Erick the Architect, thank you so much for coming through. You know, you're always welcome. Congratulations. I know you're on tour right now, so I do appreciate you taking the time to come here. You've performed at Angela Yee Day, which was a huge favorite to me.
Let's go.
And I love to see you represent always.
Always.
All right.
Brooklyn
I love that you're home.
Mm-hmm.
You can watch that full interview on my YouTube channel, Way Up with Yee. And when we come back, you guys have the last word.
Pick up the phone. Tap in. Tap in and get your voice heard.
What the word is.
Here's the last word on Way Up with Angela Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and I was blessed to have Rip Michaels joining me all morning.
And I'm blessed to be here. Like, you know what I'm saying?
This was amazing.
And thank you for all the
What word you going to use
prayers.
today?
Huh?
What word? I know you've been using different words.
Exuberant. I think that's what I'm going to make my word from. Exuberant today.
Ah, good.
And what was your word? Astonishingly or something like
that? No, you said astonished. I said fantastical.
For fantastical.
And you guys can also go see Rip Michaels and all of his industry friends.
Yes.
Comedian friends, artists at the Barclays.
Yes, at the Barclays tomorrow night. It's going to be absolutely crazy. Me, Dio, Hughley, Tracy Morgan, London Brown, Bruce, Nephew Tommy, so many Glorilla, Young Jeezy, and so many surprise guests. London Brown. Justina Valentine from Wild Out also in the building. It's going to be crazy. I got every single friend I know coming out. Plus so many surprise guests. And it's going to be a fantastical show.
All right. And again, thank you to Erick the Architect for joining us today. Make sure y'all watch that full interview on my YouTube channel, Way Up with Yee. And welcome home to G Depp.
Yes.
G Depp is out of jail today. It's official. He was in jail for 13 years.
Ooh, that's a special delivery. He's home.
Okay.
I know he got all types of tea.
Oh, man. Listen, that's why they let him out.
Like,
all right.
whoa.
All right. Well, listen, of course you guys have the last word.
I was calling in about the second chance. My name's Tony from Chicago. I had a stroke. People thought I was going to die. I actually did for about 2 minutes, but I'm here. I'm healthy. I'm walking. I'm talking. I'm doing everything. I want to thank my wife, my niece, my mom, my family and friends, Charles, and all my other loved ones, my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, everybody. Thank you. I'm here.
My name is Shantuan Shields, and I would like to shine the light on myself. I was actually driving when I heard Rip Michaels on the show talking about his transplant experience, and I too am a heart transplant recipient. I received my transplant in 2017, and I started modeling professionally in 2018. And I would love to be the first plus-size model / heart transplant recipient in the world. I could be found on Facebook at Shantuan Shields Plus Size Model.
Going way up with Angela Yee.